Okay, we talk about the latest DS9 episode called Babel after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and you can pronounce it Babel or Babel depending on your preferences. But what this is about, and it's a fairly simple plot when it comes to it, is that there was a virus that was spread through replicators across DS9, causing everyone to develop an aphasia to where they were speaking nonsense, essentially. Not other languages, just random words, and seeing random words when they're trying to read screens or trying to write something on a pad. The inability to communicate using words was the problem that virtually everybody on the station had, except strategically interesting. Cisco was one of the last, Kira was one of the last, and Bashir was one of the last, whereas Chief O'Brien, one of the first. Now, believable that he would be the first because he was the one who was the most worn out. He was tired. He was working around the clock, it seems, and still not being able to satisfy everybody because there were just so many things that were always going wrong with the station. But when it comes to the matter of story, I don't see much there. Honestly, it was O'Brien tries to fix something, something goes wrong due to sabotage 18 years ago, and then they proceed to try to find out whether this is a disease that's spread by replicators, or they find out that it's been sabotaged. They have to find out who the saboteur is. They first think it's the Cardassians, and then they think it's the Bajorans, and then it's a matter of narrowing it all down. Now, I'm not saying that it's not heroic, that Kira was able to take the entire population of Bajor and the resistance of 18 years ago and zoom in on someone who was likely to be able to fix things, and did. I mean, it's predictable enough. But as far as where it took anything, I don't know. And what really disappointed me was the very ending, where they end it the exact way they started it. Cisco gets a cup of coffee out of the replicator and it doesn't taste good. And he says, "O'Brien, fix this. I told you to fix this." And at the end, it's the same thing. And it's supposed to be funny, yeah, haha. But it really doesn't do anything to advance any kind of plot. At the very end, it would at least have something to say at the end that perhaps they'd worked O'Brien a little too hard. Well, now it just goes right back to the way it was. There's the usual quirk is cheating on something in order to be able to get a bit of advantage, and it causes the virus to spread further, but it probably would have spread anyway. So this and this and this, it's kind of a nothing burger, really, and it's disappointing. And for a long time, I did not watch this show. And looking back on it, reading about how so much of it was such a good show, and I did rejoin it when Michael Dorn joined it, and I really enjoyed that part of it. But I've missed a lot in between, and I'm thinking that episodes like this are probably what pushed me away, is that nothing would happen. It was, okay, here's the latest thing that broke, here's the latest thing that's spread around the station, what do we learn from it? Yeah, nothing really. We can cure another disease, but so what? What does that do to change the characters? What does that do to cause any kind of growth with anyone? And it shows nothing. Even if you have to wrap it up by the end of the episode, somebody should have learned something. Somebody should have wanted to change their ways in one way or the other. Either, you couldn't reform Quark. He was going to say, well, I didn't get away with it this time, but I'll do it next time. You have Cisco basically saying, "O'Brien, get back to work. You've had enough of a rest, nearly dying." That's the way I see it. I'm disappointed in this. I'm hoping better ones come about. The acting is too good for writing to be as sloppy as this. So we'll see what happens in subsequent episodes. But for now, I would say if you're looking to watch something this week, watch something else. This is not one that's absolutely has to be in your collection. It doesn't advance anything and doesn't really work for me. You may have a different opinion, though. Please put it below. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that. And then we will talk about this further. Maybe somebody sees something in this that I did not. No doubt that would be the case. So until next time, we'll have a retro review tomorrow on Star Trek: The Original Series. And then, of course, this Friday, we will have yet the next episode of Strange New Worlds. So we hope you'll join us for that. And until then, don't go far.